Hello there, Internet. I am your host, J-Man. Welcome to Roblox Let's Play! Vandal Hearts. Left off, we basically just messed around in in another town to do one of them sexy trials. We did good at first, but then we fucking died. Now we're about to storm that castle. Like it's your mom. Ready for everyone. Smash. Smash. Fire Emblem is... At least he tried. Yeah, I still haven't tried to get... Another thing I've been doing is I've been getting to Percy Jackson lately, like... Smash. No, that was expecting something way worse. But if you close your eyes... Does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? But if you close your eyes... Bow, 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 bow. Ba-da-da-da. Okay, I have a question. Why isn't the Magna Defender like a proper 6th Ranger? Yeah, as you guys all know, Sentai classified his Sentai classified Ball Black is classified as an extra hero rather than a 6th Ranger. I mean, just like in Power Rangers, their backstory was the same. The older brother was meant to be the Red Ranger. Paul gets the sword, but something happens. But when the enemies show up, they fall into the cave. And die. And almost die until like there's Ball Black / Magna Defender there, and the villain also has like a grudge against the main villain because it killed a younger relative of theirs. Power Rangers actually makes it sadder because in the Sentai, it was the younger brother that got killed. But in Power Rangers, it was the Magna Defender's son. Like, do you want to expect a show like Power Rangers to have revenge and dead kids as like a major plot point? Like, props on them for doing that. Like, and again, I'm still pissed at them replacing reruns of it with reruns of Sonic X. And hey, as we all know, CW's a channel better known for mediocre shows than anything else. Blood on my fingers. And another really funny feature is that 2D actually did go into some things, but it's not like anything like Oscar worthy or anything. From what I know, Kai, I mean, let's all be real, the characters in Lost Galaxy aren't as memorable as the others. I mean, Cyber Leo. Leo was cool. And of course, as we all know, the girls with like kind of kid named Maya. And of course, we can't talk about Lost Galaxy without talking about Kendrix. As you guys all know, Kendrix's actress was diagnosed with leukemia and had to leave the show in order to get treatment. And yeah, she recovered. Apparently, from what I know, Saban had no idea. It had no idea whether or not her actress was actually going to come back or not. So they killed her off. And they did. And there was like one thing I did. Okay, I can't believe I can't believe I'm saying nice things about Mega Force. Kill me later. But yeah, in Mega Force, there was a brief scene where like in like the extended cut, there was a scene where where Karone morphs and she puts on her helmet. She's like, I like being a ranger more. I mean, that's nice fan service. Even if most of the younger kids who watched it aren't gonna get it, like, but they're probably their older sibling or they're autistic, rather like new. Like, I think they could get. I don't know why they didn't bring Rick back, like for the Force episode. They could have done like a funny in joke. I think they could have done a funny in joke where they could have just had for the samurai crossover where Cole would have ran into Jaden, and Jaden gets out like his sword, be like, "What?" And Leo's like, "Whoa, what's going on? What's going on?" And then Jaden's like, "Sorry, you remind me of someone." And apparently, what I know, the actor played Chip in Mystic Force. Actually voiced a Monster of the Week in what in. in in Mystic, in Megaforce. Why not have him show up and I think I talked about this in a previous episode where they could have had him make a cameo, Chip be like a Mystic Force episode. You gotta remember, they did. They did an episode on Mystic Force. I mean, on Magi Ranger for. Majira. Majiro! Like, my idea for an episode went like this. Gosei tells the Rangers that, hey, there's a place called, I mean, you know what sucks? Even the actors on Mystic Force. Hated the script. They're like, come on, let's do better. Producer was like, no, it's a kid's show. Our audience are 7 years old. Adventure Time aired around this time, and it basically had a balance of funny, goofy, wacky antics one episode, and dark and very serious tragedy the next. That is not an excuse for bad writing. Like, I think I've already said before that I really hate people comparing Ghost User to Fire Emblem Engage. One has mediocre characters and a boring story. The other has great characters in a hit or miss story. I mean, so that's when I kind of realized something. Ghost User isn't the Fire Emblem Engage of Sentai. It's the... It's the Fire Emblem Awakening of Sentai. Come on, think about it. Fire Emblem Fates Awakening didn't really have that great of a story, let's all be honest. But the characters made up for it. The characters were great. I loved... I mean, Frederick might be one of my favorite oifes in the franchise. Like, the name Frederick having this old British knight feel to it. Like, and him posting Krob's nudes. It makes just as much sense in context. which I'm not gonna bother explaining. Play Awakening or just watch the cutscene yourself. It's peak comedy. Fuck. Number 1 Sentai Goshuja. Or all Sentai. Number 1 Sentai. Clap, clap, clap to be number 1. Also, I'm getting my, if things go well, my first, toy from, Super Space Sheriff Gavin Infinity, from Gavin Infinity is gonna come in, like... Also, another thing is that Sailor Guardian Hope finally released her Sailor Moon video. And I was hoping that you noticed. For those who don't know what happened... So, in the early 2000s, there was a Sailor Moon tokusatsu series that aired only in Japan. It was basically made for a Japanese audience in mind, and it was never meant for international viewers. But it got them anyway. Fans call this show Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, and it actually deviates from the source material a lot. Like, from what I do know, Minako, Sailor Venus... what she wanted to be an idol in the original manga and anime, but in Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, she already is an idol, and it's still Sailor V. They also have something I kind of like, and I wish it has a very good explanation for why the girls' anime hair only appears when they're transformed. It doesn't work when they don't wear the hair all the time. Also, it only focuses on the first arc, so that means no Sailor, so that means no Sailor Radius or Sailor Neptune, so that means no lesbians. Dobson is sad. And no trans-coded character. Sailor Diamond. But apparently that season was written by Yasuko Kobayashi, who, if you guys all know, is the same lady that wrote Absolute Cinema. She was the same lady that wrote, for some reason I keep forgetting that thinking that she wrote, I keep thinking she wrote Deca Ranger. She didn't. That was someone else. But she did write Shikinger. Like, she went from writing one of the funniest Sentai, one of the best Sentai, to writing one of the darkest Kamen Rider seasons with Kamen Rider. And apparently she was one of the writers for season 0, Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. Along with Toshiki Inoue. Yeah, apparently when I learned that Inoue wrote that series, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And as I said before, Inoue, there's like that one fucked up episode that was like body horror where a guy who really, really likes watches and basically his whole body sort of like having that illusion where his entire body was clockwork. Like, dear God. I mean, the guy was an asshole, but I think that may have been too far, Yugi. Yami. And he's sort of like smashing up his watch collection out of fear, like... Yeah, Yami just casually gave a guy PTSD. Who's the hero in this situation? And you know the irony about that is, so as I said, when I found out that Inoue wrote that series, and Inoue wrote Gojuju, just not Toshiki Inoue. Oh my spine! This is a time to rebel. Yeah, show me what's real. Oh yeah, also another thing. You guys know the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? Something that even, I mean, Danganronpa Abridged? Something that even I reference my Danganronpa days. You're not welcome in a school environment! Apparently it's on the guy's DeviantArt. Very based shit. We made it. Yeah, but what's next? I shall already left it. Let's head back and resupply. And save. Like, subscribe, all that sexy stuff. See ya.